Imagine success as a train hurtling down the tracks of life. Most people spend their days running alongside it or desperately trying to catch up. And often they unknowingly are running away from success. But there's a better approach, one that only the most successful people are using. See, instead of chasing success, picture yourself standing confidently on that station platform, ready and waiting for that train to arrive. Because it's not about a frantic pursuit, it's about cultivating the right mindset, about getting a crystal clear vision and an unwavering faith that your success is inevitable. Why chase success when it can come to you? So if you want to learn to think about success like those that have mastered it do, join me on today's Life Design podcast as we dive deep into lesson 8 from my book, Improve Your Thoughts, Improve Your Life. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe now so you can join us on every episode. We truly appreciate it. And be sure to engage in the comments section of your favorite platform for your chance to be invited as a guest on one of our episodes. Hello, you beautiful human beings. Welcome back to the Life Design podcast and your Wednesday coaching series. I'm your host, coach, and mentor, Michael Borland, and today is going to offer a shocking perspective, and it's going to offer a number of intriguing insights into the mindset of success, including some that almost no one shares publicly. For each of the episodes over the last few weeks, I've compared a number of beliefs that people have about the topic of success and moving life forward. And in each episode, I've shared the most common belief that I've found over the last 30 years on each individual subject. I've also shared the most successful perspectives on those subjects that I've come across. And I've also included some insights, many insights actually, on why and how to level up our way of thinking about it. The limiting belief that we're going to cover today, we're going to help people overcome, is the common perspective of pursuing or chasing down success. Or another common way that we hear it is going after a dream or a goal. And though in general terms, there's nothing wrong with encouraging people to do so, even by, using those particular words. But there's a caveat to using that language, which is that it takes your power away. Think about it. If you are chasing something, you're not the one in control. But what if you were to change your perspective? What if you were to see your efforts as getting in front of success or getting in its path and allowing it to come to you or attracting it to you? This doesn't mean that, you need to be out on some cutting edge, creating these new inventions and working on in some budding industry. Remember, everything in the book that we're going through and in this coaching series, it refers to the way you think and how you feel in connection to those thoughts. See, most successful people are very cautious about having a perspective on any topic that puts themselves behind something and chasing it. Okay? They generally use their thoughts and their words from a perspective of already being there, ready for it, grabbing hold of it, mastering it, and simply put, already being in possession of it. So the key in this perspective, in the whole concept, is that truly successful people in any area, they see themselves as already having that box checked off. Right? Don't get me wrong. As a figure of expression, to others, they might use words like, I'm going to, or I'm working on, or even something like, hey, let's go after, or let's work on this. But that's as a way of making a point. In their minds, the perception is like saying, let me get my keys. Does that make sense? Their goal already belongs to them. They're the one in control. And it's only, a specific path, process, or a specific timing that separates them from that goal. So think about it this way. If you're outside your house, you're out in the front yard, your car keys are in the house on your dresser. Is there any question or doubt that those keys are yours and that, you'll go get them? Of course not. And this is how successful people think about it, regardless of the topic. When they use the term going after something, that's the concept. Anything that you've ever wanted required a process to get it. First you thought about it, then you kind of planned out the steps to get it. And for most of those things, we either go online and we order it, we go to the store and we purchase it. Then once we get it home, if there's some sort of assembly that's required, we walk through that process of setting it up. But then we have a fully functional item, and it's ours. Whether or not we're physically holding on to it at that moment or not, it's ours. And when you learn to think about success, just like we think of those car keys sitting on the dresser, everything changes. And that is the kind of change you really want in life. Okay, that's the intentional kind of change that we really like. So how do we do it? What is the shift inside that we can take away from this lesson? It is to practice knowing that if we want something, we only need follow a simple process and that thing will be ours. And then we follow that process. Look, if you don't know what process you need to follow to accomplish a goal, to achieve something, to acquire something in life, be it a lifestyle, a job position, a goal, a relationship, whatever it is, then investigation becomes that step number one toward those car keys laying on the dresser. Right? Here's an example. If you're outside and those car keys are inside, maybe you go to the front door and the front door is locked. What do? You add the simple step of unlocking that front door with the house key. You don't have that house key in your pocket. Then what do? You walk around to the back door where you've got that hidden key. Maybe you don't have a hidden key at your back door. Climb through a window. Break into your house if you have to. It's your house. And those are your keys. So quit making excuses. Start making those goals and those dreams a reality by getting creative, by being, intuitive, by working out a plan, by getting clarity on what it is you want, what steps are needed to get it, to attain that, or to get to that place in life. And begin taking those steps with the perspective that this goal is just like my keys on the dresser. I simply need to work out a plan and take those steps to get it. So, question, do you understand the mindset that I'm explaining? Okay, don't make this harder than it is. Everything that you've ever owned or accomplished or obtained started with a thought, a desire, then a process was followed to realize the attainment or the accomplishment of that desire, we'll call it. And if you have a passionate desire to accomplish something, to change your life in some way, it doesn't matter what that goal is, it's already yours. You created that fact the instant that you created it in your mind. Now it's just the process that needs to be followed to manifest it into your physical reality. Now, take note of something. Not once did I say that it is an easy skill to practice, let alone to master it. But I've repeatedly used the word simple because the process is simple. However, staying committed to it until you master it, that takes some grit. That takes some faith and some consistent practice. This is not a fly-by-night, let me do it once or twice and I've got it mastered. That's not how it works. You have to keep at it. You have to practice it on a consistent basis to shift that mindset, to create that energy to make it all work. If you want more in life, learn to embrace abundance. Learn to know in your own mind that there is more than enough to go around. There's no scarcity. When you adopt this understanding, you become a magnet for the things that you want. You begin to draw things to you. Sometimes it begins to feel effortless. I mean, look around. There are thousands, tens of thousands of buildings, stores and banks and shops and what have you, trees and roads, and there's just things everywhere. You name it. I mean, if we think back, in 1983, cell phones had just hit the public market. By 2024, there were enough cell phones in existence that every single human being on the planet could have owned one, even newborn babies. Every year, there's hundreds of thousands of new inventions that are patented. That's just the ones that are patented. There is no scarcity. And you have virtually, you have virtually anything you want that available to you. I started to say at your fingertips, but sometimes it takes a little more effort than being right at your fingertips. Sometimes there is a thought process and an extensive thought process and a plan to be created and steps to be followed. But you have those things available to you. If and when you choose to make them a priority in your life. So again, why chase success in whatever that means to you when you can position yourself to attract it naturally, to get in its way? It's not about running faster. Okay? Quit running from the success that's headed your way. Start getting prepared, getting out in front of it. And we do this by doing the inner work between this space right here. For those that are listening, I'm building a box from my, chest to the top of my head and to this, inside of my shoulders, meaning your head and your heart space. You need to do the inner work so you can let success come to you, because this is when you become the master and success becomes your tool. And I'm using success in a very broad fashion. But whatever it is that you're looking to accomplish starts with doing the inner work. When we do that, people become drawn to you, to that aura of confidence and purpose that you have. People even want to become, they become eager to learn this, this secret that you have that creates your confidence and this energy that you're putting out. Okay, this is what happens when we prioritize working on ourselves. People and opportunities come out of the woodwork that were most likely right there. We just weren't on that, what some would call that energetic level to recognize them. Okay? Start by speaking to yourself with an expectancy, with what we call expectant self-talk. Okay? Affirm to yourself that your success is inevitable. Look around, pay attention to all the little wins that you get. Quit expecting to see all the big ones. And let me pause on that because I said expectancy. What I'm referring to now is expect big wins to happen, but don't ignore the little ones. When you ignore the little wins, you wind up missing the big ones. It doesn't even mean that they're not happening. It means you're not recognizing them. So practice doing this consistently. Practice recognizing the small wins. Practice having that expectation and telling yourself, using words when you talk that are words of expectancy, thoughts and feelings of expectancy. Practice doing this consistently and watch the world around you change in ways that you didn't even know were possible. I can't even count how many times I've seen this happen, to how many people that I've seen make this work. And I would venture, I would not per se a gambling man, but I would put money on it, so to speak, that if you really stopped and looked at your life, even if you feel you've had nothing but struggles, that if you practiced a different perspective of recognizing things in your life, challenges and overcoming them and getting beyond them, that you'd begin to see you had win after win after win after win. So start to practice that on a consistent basis, and you will learn to recognize and you will see things change big time. So if any of this episode spoke to you, and if you want this kind of change in your life, please like, share, subscribe, follow, whatever it is on your platform, but engage with me. Engage with us on the podcast, on the social media, on the websites, whatever it is, wherever it is you listen. Share it, this episode, with someone who can use those insights and that extra support. Again, you never know the long-term benefits that it may have in their lives. Then be sure to come back next week, okay, for our Mental Health Mondays episode, which, if you're not already aware, is now a bi-weekly instead of a weekly episode. Be sure to come back again Wednesday for the LifeDezign coaching series. That is going to remain a weekly series. And we're about to pick up on a new series in the next week or two, is going to start coming out, that is more of a current events coaching series, looking at some of the things that are going on in life around us from a coaching and a mindset perspective, so that we can find ways to use what's happening around us or what's happening in the world as a launch pad for ourselves. So I look forward to seeing you next week. Until then, live awesome and enjoy your journey.